2009 placements were one of the toughest that business schools have seen in the last 5 to 6 years. CoolAvenues.com, which gathers placement data, collected data from 14 business schools and found some interesting insights. Placement season was stretched, pre-placement offers declined, and first-time recruiters made a killing on campus. The class of 2009 also seems to be the forgotten class because data on 2009 placements simply does not exist on many school websites. We speak to two B School graduates today, Arvind from the Faculty of Management Studies and Vivida of the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. Thanks, both of you, for joining us. So, Arvind, you're the placement coordinator at your college. Can you give us any idea why this data is missing from websites?
Many business schools actually run on the aspiration factor of students. Now, the B schools that initially, till last year used to have large number of job offers, which students have the option of, securing multiple job offers or taking the job of their salaries. Now, this hasn't happened in the current context. So probably in order to, have a better brand equity or to, not really to conceal the data, but in order to have more visibility in the market, people are building on their previous brand data and not printing for the current year. So this is a bad year for the placement, so to speak.
But can we expect any data on the websites? Will schools be publishing their data?
I think they would be. Each year there's a sequence that has to be followed. So I'm sure that sooner or later this has to come up. So probably by the time that the next batch is going to join in, I think it will be available.
Okay. And Vivida, you actually did receive some job offers but decided not to accept them in this tough market. Tell us why you decided to do that.
To work, I basically needed something, I needed something interesting and something stimulating in my profession and my job, which is something I found lacking this year. This year you had to take up a job just for the heck of it. And somehow I just couldn't make myself do that. I, just didn't want to take up some XYZ job just for the heck of it. So
what was made available?
My time.
What was made available to you?
There were more of startups and entrepreneurial kind of jobs, which is what I didn't really want, because a lot of these companies they are unstructured and they don't really add much to your CV. So once you kind of progress to the next job, it becomes more and more difficult. So I thought I'd rather wait and wait for a good opportunity to come my way than just jump the gun.
And Arvind, what trends are you seeing in recruiting this year?
Contrary to many people's expectation, people expected that finance would not be a major recruiter, but finance companies did recruit. Though the huge brand names or the big banks, investment banks that used to come to campus didn't really turn up, but few of them did. And the other companies that never used to get a chance to visit the campuses actually got a chance to come to the campus and take students. So finance was still one of the major recruiters, if I may say so. Then obviously, as she mentioned, startups and entrepreneurial ventures and small companies with 5 to 10 people strong members. These were the companies that many people actually wanted to take a risk in this meltdown also, and some people didn't want to, as she was one of them. So it depends, it's a mix of things that used to happen. Similarly, IT also recruited few, and so did FMCG. So the trend actually changed a little bit, but remains more or so the similar, except for the entrepreneurial things.
And PSUs actually emerged as one of the largest recruiters this time around.
Actually, right? Yes. PSUs offered roles in sales and marketing and also in finance, and people who were very keen on a profile or a function, so to speak, in their careers chose PSUs over other better brand names but offering a different profile. So people were willing to go to PSUs, and actually the demand for PSUs has gone up significantly.
And how are placements with foreign companies this season?
Foreign companies traditionally was a major recruiter in all the premier B schools. Now this year, since the subprime crisis has hit the foreign markets the most, the foreign companies were a little reluctant to come out to the country and pick higher students, but still the number was decent, but much lesser than what it was last year, definitely.
Yeah. Do you have any figures in terms of percentage, how much
I
lower it was?
Only 50% of them turned this year, so close to 50% is what I'm expecting, yes.
Okay. And is there any difference in salary levels compared to last year?
Definitely. I mean, most of the PSUs aren't, as big a payers as opposed to last year's and the private sector banks or other companies. So the salary level had to dip. That's one part of it. And secondly, the entrepreneurial venture. People join these ventures for the kick of it, for the profile, or for or some kind of exposure that they get initially, or some kind of high-driven function that you will be getting. So the salaries, yes, they have taken a dip, but as expected, the salary did not go down significantly, like 50% or something. Yes, it taken a hit of around 20-25% for sure.
And what about students who haven't received any offers or haven't gotten any jobs? How are they dealing with this?
Most of the students, as in most of the Premier B schools, have made it a point to get them some sort of a job or the other. There are very few who have opted out. I mean, they're just trying to network through placement consultants, through the alumni network, through sites such as LinkedIn. They're trying to basically contact as many people as they can.
And you mentioned LinkedIn. Are more people having success finding jobs through these social networking websites?
I wouldn't say finding jobs as such, but it gives you a very good opportunity to connect with the people in the area that you are interested in. Because LinkedIn takes away a lot of that hierarchy. You know, if I were kind of walking down the street, I wouldn't really approach a CEO or a vice president and say that, give me a job. But LinkedIn makes it very easy. You can just, write them a message, and many of them actually respond. They may not hire you, but they give you a lot of pointers. This is what you could do. These are the people you could contact. So I think it's quite helpful that way.
So do you think that there's any benefit at all to this dip in the market?
I think a lot of people, in the so-called good years, a lot of people were actually just taking up jobs because they were there, they were available. So, iBanking was hot, and, in general, consulting was very hot. So people were just doing it because everyone's doing it, and you're getting 20-30 lakhs. So, I will not pursue marketing because it's not cool anymore, and the money is where the iBanking and those companies are. So this year, we've seen a lot of people who had actually specialized in finance, but they've taken up marketing jobs because that's what they always wanted to do, but they didn't because marketing doesn't pay as much, or the brands are not big enough. So this year a lot of people have done. There are people from our batch who've gone into environment and carbon credits consulting and that kind of stuff, which is very offbeat, which they wouldn't have done in a regular year. They would have thought of it as a too big a risk, but this year it's something that they've kind of gone into, and they're happy that, okay, we're getting to do what we wanted. So.
Well, thanks again for joining us, and we wish you both the best of luck. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching LiveMint.com.